Hello, everyone. This is Rama El-Lawzi, a cardiovascular disease fellow from Mayo Clinic. We're here at ACC 2026 in New Orleans with Fits on the Go. And I have very special guests with me today, Dr. Paul Friedman. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll give a brief introduction of Dr. Paul
Thank you.
Friedman. He's the chair department of the cardiovascular disease department at Mayo, and he's a leader in electrophysiology and a pioneer in artificial intelligence. Welcome, Dr. Friedman.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for this. Is an honor. On a personal level, we were working together on heart rhythm service, and I was very inspired by how you approach patients and your bedside manners and all the teaching you have provided to us.
Thank you. It was a busy week and I really enjoyed it as well.
Thank you so much. So tell us about your journey and what led you to going into electrophysiology, and did engineering played a role in that?
So yeah, when I was deciding what to do as an undergraduate in Texas, I decided to do engineering and liberal arts. My dad's an engineer and he's going, philosophy, history, what are you doing that for? I said, well, it's interesting. And so I did both. And that naturally fit with medicine, which is very humanistic, obviously. And also, especially in our field, very mechanistic, physiologic, and electrical and mechanical both. And so with that background, because I did electrical engineering as an undergraduate, electrophysiology was a natural fit. You don't need to do that training, but it's helpful whether you're thinking about troubleshooting a pacemaker, which is an electronics device, or catheter ablation in the biophysics of energy delivery. And while I don't pretend to be an engineer anymore, the ability to communicate a little bit better with the AI scientists when they're building networks and whatnot, it was helpful to have that background. And I just find this geeky stuff interesting. And I think it is useful for taking care of patients.
That's wonderful. We're happy to get you on our side in medicine.
Yeah, it's really a privilege to practice medicine, and I feel lucky to be doing it.
So congratulations on your talk today.
Thank you.
On the future of AI in cardiovascular disease. Tell us more about AI and what you envision the cardiovascular medicine.
Yeah. So I see a couple broad areas for AI. The first one is supercharging the diagnostic test. So the best example is the ECG. ECG has been around for 100 years. But when you apply artificial intelligence to it, it can see subtle patterns that even humans who've looked at thousands of these can't see. I really see it as having, in that space, and really what we're talking about here is predictive AI. You put in an input, it predicts an output. Three main roles. One is AI is tireless. So, and more people are getting ECGs and wearables. There aren't enough humans to look at all those. So AI can very reliably read the ECGs and make the human type diagnosis. Now, if you want to know, did the ECG get it right in that circumstance? That's one where ECG reads it, an expert can look at it and we can say, oh, we got it right or didn't get it right. The second group is to detect conditions that a human can't. So an example there would be ventricular dysfunction. If someone gives me an ECG and says, is there ventricular dysfunction? My response is, get an echo.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell from the ECG. But AI trained on hundreds of thousands or more ECGs can see multiple nonlinear patterns and identify the presence of those that suggest ventricular dysfunction. And the way we test that, of course, is we do studies where we get the ECG, see what the AI says, and then get the echo to confirm it. The third one is not predicting hidden or occult disease, but future disease. And that's harder. In the cascade of pathophysiologic changes, whether it's atrial fibrillation, aortic stenosis, ventricular dysfunction, it's been clear that there are changes that occur electrophysiologically 1, 2, or 3 years before the echo or MRI or CT can see the change. And so we've seen that patients will have a positive AI ECG, for example, for a low EF, but the echo is normal. And you're saying, well, what do I do with this? But if you follow them for a few years, they develop ventricular dysfunction. But that's harder to test
Right.
because then you have to follow people for years and it's a more complex, expensive, difficult study.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it evolves over year. We've been using AI at Mayo with EKGs, and it has been helpful for us so far. And it's really exciting. What about what do you think about obstacles or something that challenges that might comes up?
Yeah. No, there are
with-
many, of course. And first, we were only talking about predictive AI, so we can maybe come back to if you want generative AI and agentic AI. But the challenges focusing on this are first, some people are concerned that it's a black box. We don't know how it comes to its answers, and so will clinicians trust it? That one doesn't bother me as much because we don't know how SGLT2 inhibitors work either, but we prescribe them as long as we see in trials that they work. And so for the ECG, it's the same thing. If we see that it works and we do trials showing that it works, I'm comfortable with that. But then we also have to check over time. Is there drift? Are the results consistent over time? Because with AI systems, the performance can change over time, something called data drift, where the people being tested are somehow different than the ones who were tested before. And so that it may not be quite as reliable. And then there's the potential work related to doing it. Who's going to do it? Who's going to pay for it? All those larger societal questions. But I think we're working our way there, and we will see more and more AI ECG tests, and soon, hopefully, AI echo tests, and then other tests will be turbocharged. And the real question for us is, what do we want the ECG or the AI to do, and what do we want to do as humans? And that I think is an important thing for trainees, for people in practice as we contemplate our future as humans.
That's really interesting and
Yeah.
inspiring to think about.
Yeah.
Thank you for leading the way for us all to have the chance to learn more about AI and do projects in that field.
Thank you for having me.